Testing, testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing. Yeah, we up in here. Hey, what's good with y'all? I'm gonna play a little bit of music and then I'm gonna get right into it. All right, I'm gonna get right into it, man. Hey, what's good with y'all, man? It's the Thawahgabar for Black Authentic Truth. Very, very quick live. I want to talk about the death of Trey Reed, the brother that was found lynched or hanging at his university, which is crazy. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm gonna play 2 videos, then we'll get into it. All right. Share the screen.
Reed, the university president, and law enforcement addressed the community's grief and the ongoing investigation. 12 News' Jalen Thornton joins us now in the studio with more. And Jalen, what did we learn from the university?
Yes, emotions are still high following the discovery of Reed's body hanging from a tree early Monday morning. Today, university leaders and police shared updates and emphasized their commitment to transparency and safety on campus. President Daniel Ennis acknowledged the pain felt across campus and the nation, saying the way Trey was found has stirred deep emotions. He clarified that the university has been in contact with Reed's designated next of kin and in cooperation fully with investigators. Police Chief Michael Pillar confirmed that a full autopsy is underway, with the preliminary results expected within 24 to 48 hours.
We are simultaneously grieving, we are simultaneously processing, and I think every minute about Trey. But I also have to think about my 2,800 other students and protect them as well. In that regard, we've been very grateful that we have had increased law enforcement presence on this campus. And unfortunately, that's because this campus has received threats. And my message to that regard would be, we have students here.
Officials say there is no active threat to campus and support services remain available. Another update is expected once autopsy results are released. In studio, Jalen Thornton, 12 News.
Monday. Just a short time ago, we heard from his family's attorney. WRAG's Mike Sirianni shares the latest on the investigation.
Delta State University, with your false narrative, you need to proceed with caution because there will be consequences for this.
Hattiesburg, Mississippi attorney Vanessa Jones speaking out Tuesday as family of 21-year-old DeMartravian Trey Reed listened quietly in the Grenada church Reed attended. The freshman at Delta State University found dead Monday morning hanging from a tree on campus. Monday, just hours after Reed was found, the university announced.
At this time, there's no evidence of foul play.
Reed's family outraged after Bolivar County Coroner Randolph Seals Jr. issued this statement, quote, "Based on the preliminary examination, we can confirm that the deceased did not suffer any lacerations, contusions, compound fractures, broken bones, or injuries consistent with an assault. At this time, there is no evidence to suggest the individual was physically attacked before his death," end quote. Attorney Jones says DSU is leaving the Reed family in the dark.
We need answers. As of this point, The family of Trey Reed has not even received a phone call from the president of Delta State University and to tell them exactly what happened to their child that they entrusted to Delta State University.
Jones says the truth of what happened Monday should be easy to find.
Because if this young man was on the campus of Delta State University with all these cameras and all this modern technology, from the moment he left his dorm room or entered that campus, there should be surveillance of all of his actions. And that's what we want.
For your news leader in Grenada, Mississippi, Mike Suriani, WREG News Channel 3.
Lots of questions.
Listen, this is a sad, sad situation. And let me just say, man, Black people do not hang themselves. That's some fucking BS. It's very convenient for authorities and other people to right away say, when you hear about a Black man being found hanging from a tree, to say there is no foul play. It's very convenient. Now, we as Black folks, we know the truth. You talking about a way of death that was used in a reign of terror against Black people, being hung from trees, lynchings. You're talking about something that they use specifically to terrorize Black people. And we all know about it. We all know about it in the Black community. We all know about the past of what happened to our ancestors at the hands of white folks, especially in southern states. We know about it. And then to say it's no foul play, or to suggest that the person took a rope and hung themselves, is crazy. It's like saying that, let's just say a Jewish person, after what they say happened in the Holocaust, it's like them saying, you know what, I want to commit suicide by going into a gas chamber. You feel me? It just doesn't make any sense. And like the lady, the attorney said, she said basically, with all of this technology in this day and age, you don't have anything. You don't have him, leaving his dormitory, coming to his dormitory, nothing. You would think that universities, especially in this day and age, because of mass shootings, you would think that schools of higher education would have security cameras. I mean, at the very least, a camera here and there to look at the common areas, hallways, the middle area of the school where everybody chill at, auditoriums, stuff like that. You would think they would at least have that in this day and age, which they should. And it puts me in the mind, of course, of all of these stories. Javion McGee, the brother that was driving trucks from Chicago in North Carolina and was found at the base of a tree with a rope around his neck. In a sundown town, in a town that was notorious for, a high level of racial prejudice. But they said he bought the rope and he did it to himself. He was on video buying rope in Walmart, rope that you usually secure your loads with. So they said, since he bought the rope, that shows you that he probably did it to himself. And you could tell even in that case, it was a big cover up. And right here, the family feels like they are left in the dark. It's a big cover up. It's a big cover up, man, because they think we stupid. They think Black people are stupid. They don't want you to think that they are still doing the things that they was doing in the past. They don't want you to think that, you know what I mean? But this is the reality. And, I just seen a post where it was talking about, because I'm in California, it was talking about that it's more racial prejudice in California, in places like California, than in southern states. In fact, the post was saying that Black people and white people typically don't cross boundaries and get along. The only issue I have with that is that usually when you hear about them finding a black man hanging from a tree, it's in one of those southern states. And it's always suicide. When did this trend come from where black men decided, like, I want to commit suicide by hanging myself? When did this trend start? I'm lost. Somebody help me out. When did the trend start? Because I don't remember, anything significant. I just know that once you gone, you don't have a voice to say what happened. And the people that are doing the investigation can say whatever they want to say. Case in point, also, this wasn't a lynching, but the story of Kendrick Johnson, the brother that in Valdosta, Georgia, the young brother in high school that they found rolled up in a gym mat, said he climbed up the gym mat while standing vertical and went to the top to get a shoe at the bottom and got stuck. A stupid, dumb story. But nobody wanted to look into it. Everybody took it at face value. His family didn't take it at face value. We never accept that stuff. We never accept the stupid answers that they give you. Then his family went and exhumed his body by to get a second opinion, and it was shown that he had blunt force trauma on his neck in the area of his head. And the boys that he was getting into it with, their father just happened to be an FBI, work for the FBI. But these people work together. And you see, it was black law enforcement. I say this all the time. It don't matter if you have black law enforcement is the same as white law enforcement. When it doesn't matter what race you are, when you put on a uniform, because when they put on that uniform, they're going to become that culture. Now, you might have some of them that fight and buck up against what they see, and they get into law enforcement to do good and be a civil servant and all that. But then they see what's going on and they try to buck up against the system, and the whole precinct turn against them. So when somebody puts on a uniform, they put on the culture of law enforcement. So whether it's an Asian, whether it's a black person, a Mexican person, it doesn't matter. Okay, it doesn't matter. Because after a while, they're going to go with the culture. And the culture of law enforcement, hell, it started from the patty rollers. It started from, slave patrols. That's what law enforcement started from. Law enforcement was about chasing down black people, terrorizing black people. And then it turned into what today as law enforcement, protecting rich people's property, basically, and getting quotas and all of that. But getting back to this story, man, I just can't accept that. I can't accept that they don't have any cameras on the university campus. I can't accept that there is there is nothing that anybody saw on a campus. We're not talking about somewhere down the street. We're talking about on a campus. Remember, college campuses is supposed to have a level of security because you got students a lot of times in these college campuses that come from other places that live on campus. So it's supposed to have a certain level of security, surveillance, at least. It's always, convenient when there's a story like this that there is no camera footage, or at least none that will incriminate anyone. At least any that will actually tell the real, truthful story. So, I wanted to talk about this situation with this brother. Because it's a lot going on right now. It's right now, the racial prejudice level is very high right now because of what happened to Charlie Kirk. Those people don't like to take L's. They don't like to take L's. And so you can't put anything past them wanting to get they lick back, and what that requires is for black people, especially if you live in southern states, but everywhere, because everywhere there's white supremacy. I'm not saying all white people, but the vast majority, if they don't say nothing about it, they're a part of it. And this is just the world that we live in. I'm not complaining, like some brother said. Some brother hit me in the comments and said, you need to stop complaining. Stop complaining. Stop being lazy. You know, that's a whole nother topic. I'm gonna get into that. I'm gonna get into, you know, that type of talk. But I'm just being real with my people. I'm being real and honest. If you live in those type of states, you need to educate your children on what time it really is. We don't live in a post-racial society. We don't. I know y'all think Martin Luther King made everything better, and that now we live in a world where it's all about you being a good person and nobody sees your color as long as you laugh at their jokes and as long as you're a hard worker and as long as you get good grades. That is not the fucking world we live in. We do not live in that world. You need to wake your children up. You need to wake up. You know, I don't know what this brother was doing. Hell, we don't have any camera footage. We don't know why what he was doing. I guess the investigation is going to piece that together, but he was found at 7 o'clock in the morning hanging from a tree. So something happened in the middle of the night, early morning. We don't know. When they piece that together, when they get their story together, I guess we'll know what was his his moves he made. What was the moves he made? But that's the reality. That's what we living in right now, y'all. So as Black people, it's your responsibility right now in this heightened sense, in this heightened level where your oppressor is angry and they're very violent. You have to watch your back. You have to, when you go somewhere, and this is not just about this situation. This is about, Black women coming up missing and never found again. This is about that too. There's a story right now with some music artist. There was a young girl found in his car, dismembered in his car, his Tesla that was in the impound. And it came out that this girl was a 15-year-old that was missing. How she was missing, whether she ran away from home or what, I don't know. But the fact remains is that this is where our daughters fall under. You don't got a good relationship with your daughter and you pushing her out the house or she run away. This is something you need to be concerned about. And this is something you need to educate your kids on. This can happen to you. This can happen to you. It's sad to say that, you know what I'm saying? But if you have a son, a Black son, and you live in one of those rural areas in the South, this story, you need to show this story to your son or sons or children and say, this can happen to you. Now, do you really think that this boy did this to himself? But we live in a place where Black people become strange fruit, even in 2025. And then they tell you, stop making excuses. Racism doesn't exist anymore. Stop being a victim when Black people really are being fucking victims, being hung on trees, being executed. You know what, Desiree? I seen that. Are you talking about the song with the two white guys right now? It's like a new song. Somebody, there's a song. Just go look it up. There's a song. Let me see if I can find it. Because I seen that today. There's a song, a lynching song. Was that what you was talking about, Desiree? Or I'm sorry, Desiree, right? That's how you say it. I'm gonna find this song, then I'm gonna wrap it up, y'all. Excuse me. Let me see. What am I looking for? because I had just seen it. Somebody posted it. All right, one more time. Let me look. Let me see. I know I can find it. I'm just trying to find a person page who I saw it on one of my brother's pages. Let me see. I don't know if I can play it. But... Okay, it's called Rapper 4G. 4G Auto. Hold on. 4G Auto. So this is a white rapper. The song is called Good versus Evil. Okay. We need a big old tree and a piece of rope. Hang them on a tree at sundown. Leave them up there so everyone will know. It goes a little something like that. That's what I just heard. This song is 4 days old. It's about lynching Black people. It's called Good and Evil. Okay. So what Desiree said is true. They got a lynching song right now. Go look at the lynching song. The lynching song, I'm gonna give you the name of the. It's called Good versus Evil, Forgiato Blow, and JJ Longhorn. Good versus Evil. Just put Good versus Evil Forgiato. It is a lynching song. Came out 4 days ago. They're talking about lynching Black people. And you over here thinking you live in a post-racial society. Nigga, you better wake up. You better wake up. Let me tell you something. It's something coming. And if you ain't got your spirit correct, you're going to be caught in the mix. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be caught up thinking that, I don't understand people today, how they live, how Black people could go about and think that with everything going on in the world and tensions rising, that something ain't going to hit America hard. And when that something does hit America hard, whether it's a missile or World War III, in a time like that where there is no 911, where there is no more internet, guess what you're going to be? You're going to be public enemy number one. It's going to be a time in their mind to try to wipe you off the earth, to purge. If they can make songs like that right now about lynching, I mean, think about where this world is going right now. You better stop playing. You better put down the weed. You better get sober. You better open up the scriptures and find out who the real God is, who the nigga God is, because it don't look good for our people that don't know what's going on. And so once again, I'll just say this: be safe. Make sure you educate the youth, your children, teenagers, especially you living in them southern states. Let them know what really is going on. Let them see what happened to this brother. Let them know that, they don't live in a world where everything is happy-go-lucky, and that, evil still exists. The same evil that our forefathers had to deal with in Black Wall Street, that had to deal with in Rosewood, they had to deal with in Weeksville, Slocum, Texas. The same evil that they had to deal with in the New York draft riots, that evil still exists. It's still here. It's not going nowhere. It's not going nowhere. That was it, Desiree? Yeah. Thank you for that. Thank you for reminding me about that. I seen it and I should have brought it up, but thank you. That was right on point, right on cue. That was perfect. All right. So with that, y'all, I'm about to get ready to have class. I'll be on Hollywood Israelites. All right. So I got to prepare for that. But I wanted to go over the story of Trey Reed. Black people don't decide out of the blue that they want to unalive themselves by hanging themselves, out of all things. It's very convenient for other people to say, that there's no signs of foul play. It's very convenient for them to say this person, a black person, would do such a thing to themselves this way. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that black people can't be depressed and can't be like that, can't be, wanted to unalive themselves. I don't want to use the S word. I think I probably already did, because when you use the S word, what they do is they put all kind of stuff on your videos because you use that word. It's kind of like when you use the word for, COVID-19. When you talk about that, they put all kind of stuff on your video. But point is that you have to be aware of your surroundings. You have to teach your children that. You have to also teach them that we don't live in a world where it is truly, a world of diversity and everybody loves everyone. There's still evil here, and that evil ain't going to never go nowhere. So no matter how much people, are talk about peace and talk about getting along and party together and sleep with each other, all of that stuff doesn't matter about the evil that is still here, as far as unsolved murders of black people being hung from trees, being strange fruit. So y'all be safe, and I'll see y'all Sunday, and maybe we'll definitely go over some Charlie Kirk. There's some things he said that I want to refute, some things that are untruths again, and I want to kill those lies. All right. Also talk about unemployment. I'll go into what I was talking about earlier with the brother talking about pro-black people. What did he say? Pro-black people. It's easy to be pro-black because pro-black people don't do anything. They just complain. Black people are so lazy. He said black people are so lazy, so physically weak. And I don't remember if he said mentally or spiritually weak. I'm going to address that too. I'm going to address that. Yeah. So y'all stay safe, and I'll see you next Sunday. This Sunday coming up. All right. Peace.